All right, today we coming to you with another episode of Auto Glass Tech Talk, and today we got the $1 million question that people always ask when they're doing repairs or they're doing things that's automotive related. Should I or shouldn't I do windshield replacements? So today we're going to talk about that, and we got a guy who is joining us today. We got Juan Lopez in New Mexico. He owns and operates Supreme Mobile Lube, and he's doing mobile lubes, and he's actually doing windshield repair. And so he's thinking about getting into the industry of replacements. So we got Drift and Jeff on to answer some questions for him. But before we get started, Juan, let us know how you actually found AGTT and how everything came about with you trying to consider replacements.
Yes, sir. I was doing an oil change for a buddy one day, and he mentioned that I should look into providing a mobile windshield repair business. Adding that onto the mobile lube. So luckily, I found you guys with Delta Kits, and I got the ball rolling on that a little bit, and then I started having some people ask, about do I do the cracks, and then do I do the replacements as well. So I started really getting into that, and whenever I first started looking into it, I just put a little post on Facebook and said, hey, does anybody know where I can get a windshield? Mm-hmm. Well, a guy about 20 miles away in Lovington, New Mexico, named Chris Gomez, which he also does paint and glass. Was like, yeah, man, I got a windshield. You can go up there and get it. And so I was really thankful for that, man, because he could have told me just to kick rocks, and he's not even gonna mess with it. But he helped me out and got me that windshield, and he's been doing a lot of work around here. So I've just been really interested in learning more about it, and then I found you guys, AGTT, and I like how you guys are about, doing good, solid work, honest work, and, getting the job done right. So it got me even more motivated to learn even more.
Yeah, knowledge is power, man. The whole community here is all about helping each other. Everybody got different methods to the madness, but at the end of the day, the same goal is, make money, get home safely, and do the job the right way, learn more. And if you know better, you do better. So with you considering replacement, I know you got a list of questions, so feel free to ask your questions so they can answer. And if we don't have the answers for you here, I'm sure somebody will comment below and send the answer or help you out. So shoot.
Yes, sir. Kind of first, or do you guys have any tips for someone who literally has no experience? I mean, I've done a handful of repairs so far, but I have no experience as far as replacements and stuff. Do you guys have any tips for somebody with no experience who's interested in the business?
Yeah. Well, I'll go first. Since you're in the group already, you have a visual, basically a virtual encyclopedia where you can skim through, see some stuff, techniques, get familiar with tool names and of that stuff, and understanding the adhesives and sealants and things of that nature. Shadowing some people, you got that guy Chris Gomez, find some guys local to you. Learn from as many different people as you can. If you were younger, I would suggest go work at a big company for a little bit. But you being that you've already got your business and everything else going, you have a different avenue to go down. But just shadow as many people as you can, because there is a large group of guys who do everything correctly, but we still do it differently. I just showed a good friend of mine who's a 20-year vet on 2 new tools this week he had never seen ever in his life, and his mind was blown, and he's been doing it over 20 years. So you never stop learning, never close your mind off. Chris can attest to that. He's a generational guy. Yeah. His dad showed him stuff, and he's learned new stuff, and he showed me stuff. I'm old enough to be his dad, and he showed me stuff. So you never stop learning.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a learning. Never stop. It's one of the industries. It's just always evolving constantly. New cars come out, new tricks come out, new things all the time. Like Jeff said, the group is an encyclopedia. You get in there, you can search any type of vehicle, and most likely it will pop up. If it hasn't, you can post about it, and someone will have an answer for it. there's enough people across the country, and we've all done every car. Someone has done that car somewhere. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but 3,000 people worldwide. There's not a car in a group that hasn't been touched, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah. From 1900 all the way to 2020 now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, like Jeff said, shadow someone. Watch what they're saying. Watch what they're doing. Watch how they move on the car. And just you don't have to do it exactly the way they're doing it, but take what you're seeing, take what you're learning, and adapt it to what's comfortable for you. So that's a big thing.
Yeah, you have a different. Most guys who come into the group, they already know how to install. They want to know how to run a business. You're totally different than everybody else. You know how to run a business. Now you want to know how to install. So it's a different learning curve than what we usually get thrown at us. But I'm sure you will get the right training somehow, some way.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys, man.
Yep.
Yeah, use that search feature for anybody watching. Use the search feature in the group. If you type in, like Drew said, you type in a car, that's going to give you some results. It just happened recently that we had a member, he was looking for an old pic of a transit van, and he wanted to see, what the way the setup was, and just right in the search, type it in, found it easy. So utilize that search feature.
And there's also a feature if you go across the wallpaper, it says recommendations, and it'll get you lined up with people that other people in the group have used to find tools, find resources, that stuff that we support. So that's a good resource also.
Yeah, trustful places. Yeah.
Yes.
Good companies. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
All right, what's your next question, man? You got any more?
Probably the next biggest question is where you guys would recommend to go for like good quality training, because like I said, I know you guys talk about there's people who do quality work, and I just want to make sure that I'm going to get the right solid stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a couple schools.
Yeah.
Bob Beranek, he has the Autoglass University. Equalizer has their Autoglass Academy. Most of the instructors are in the group. Chris and I are friends with most of the instructors. They're very approachable. The registry tuition isn't too bad. That's one way. That's not the way I went. My path was different than Chris's path. But there's guys in the group like Ryan Snowberg. Ryan Snowberg's a perfect example. He's just like you. He was a heavy machinery mechanic, wanted to explore something else, went to one of the schools, learned, and it's been a up and down road for him. But I mean, he's got a successful autoglass business now, and he's only been in the business, I don't know, maybe
4 years,
4 or 5 years, something like that. So I went the route. I started as a rookie at Safelight and did every little sweep in the warehouse, buffing windows, and worked my way up. Chris is, his dad was a glass guy. So, someone like you maybe going to one of the schools would be the best thing for you. So, because you already have a mechanical angle. When I started, I couldn't change spark plugs yet, but now, I'm very all around mechanical inclined. So there's all different kinds of ways. I mean, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely the schools. It's definitely it's a good base. Get started, gives you all your basic skills. Basic tools, understanding of everything. But if you have the time, if you can go hang out with the Chris Gomez guy, if you can go hang out with him or someone else in the area, or even fly out to there. We've traveled all over, and we've got to work with techs all over the place. Everyone does it differently. So it's good, go shadow someone for, 2-3 days, and then jump over somewhere else and go shadow someone else for the next few days. And, you get a really good idea of what it takes and, the different ways that it's done.
Shadow people, and anybody in the group. Like I said, there's a lot of people in the group who actually wouldn't mind you shadowing them. Or some of the trainers from the different companies are in the group, like Jason Martin's in the group, Cody Allen, Chris Smith actually does some training out of Utah. So anybody in the group, if you do training or wouldn't mind shadowing, drop a comment so Juan can look you up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ever going to do any traveling, my area, Chris's area, there's so many different techs that are in the group and that we're friendly with that you could learn so many different things. There's so many different aspects.
Oh yeah, I had someone come out from Brady. Shout out to Brady. Had Brady come out from I think Utah as well, and he came worked with me for a week just to learn some different stuff. He worked up in Washington with Jay for I think a month learning the heavy machinery and stuff.
Yeah, Chris has came out here to Arizona. I've gone to California. We've gone to Colorado together. I mean, it's cool. It's an unknown brotherhood, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It has me really, really motivated, man, seeing everything in the group. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah. You got any other questions, man?
Or are there any real major complications or roadblocks that just to be aware of when you're first getting into the business? I know that's kind of a really wide question, but some common maybe.
That would actually be more of a regional question because everybody deals with different things. Like I'm in Arizona and we have zero deductible for the insurance, but then you got to worry about the companies that are giving away tons of rebates and bait and switching customers. Chris is in an area that's highly competitive price market, and the insurance isn't the same. That's a question that you would probably have to concentrate somebody more in your area, I would guess, because it's really, really a regional problem more than a widespread issue type of deal.
Yeah, one thing I plug in for you to think about is get in contact, find out who your local glass distributors are. That way you know where you get your actual glass from. If they don't have a branch in your location, how do the relays work? How soon can you actually get glass? What's your cutoff time? And build those relationships with your glass distributors, because if you can't get the glass, you can't do the work.
Yeah, that's a really good point that Corey brought up, because I'm fortunate. I have 11 warehouses within 30-minute drive of me, but then you got other guys who are 6 hours. I mean, like in where up in Wyoming, they have to go all the way down to Denver to get glass. So I mean, there's all kinds of logistical questions that would probably be the best answer. Corey hit it right now. Logistics.
Yeah, that number one, just get the glass. Yeah. Make sure there's there's 5 different companies I think that wholesale glass. So get an account with all of them. Check your prices and find a decent window in between one of them.
Right.
Yeah, and all of them, most of them, a representative from those companies are in the groups, from Migrant Glass to Pilkington to PGW, Service Auto Glass. Someone's in there, and it's even smaller glass distributors, and a lot of the people in there. So all you got to do is say what you're looking for, and someone in the group will tell you and chime in.
Awesome, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. So let's
I want to add something really quick. Sorry, Corey. I didn't mean to step on you. Is it just a thought about it with the glass distributors is I think a big issue that you're going to have at first is knowing what kind of glass is good and what's not good. Because a lot of times, you'll see a brand and it's a big learning curve in learning what brands are good and what brands aren't good and what brands are good for particular cars. Like you may have one car that this brand works good, and another car where that same brand doesn't work very good. So that would probably be a big learning curve that this is going to come with trial and error. So sorry, Corey, didn't mean to step on you like that.
You good, man. Hey, knowledge is power, man. And so when given that information, it's like playing sports, man. Sometimes you want to wear Nike, sometimes you want to wear Adidas. So figure out what works for others, and that's the whole piece of getting in a group and communicating, because people will tell you, like, hey, I did this job, this one worked best for me. Or even getting with your local reps at the glass distributors, I'm sure they can help you out and tell you what works, why it works, and point you in the right direction.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Eventually, you just get a little list that you just carry around in your brain and
Post-it notes on the brain.
Yeah, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit and get a little fun with it here. So I got my first question. I'm gonna ask all y'all this question, but I'm gonna start with you, Jeff. If you had a boat, what would you name it?
A boat. What would I name it?
A boat. It could be a yacht. It could be whatever.
Well, after that recent post about the crowded beaches in Arizona, it looks like I need a boat. I would name the boat misbehave because I always thought that it has to be a woman's name, and you know, get a little kind of play on words right there. But and I would like to get a boat. I would like to go deep sea fishing all the time, but you know, what we want and what we got to do are two different things.
Yeah. So on to you, Drift. What would you name your boat, man?
All right, Mary Jane.
All right, they're gonna stick with the woman's name, Mary Jane. Cool, I'm feeling it. What about you, Juan?
Well, if I had a boat, man, I really like to do fishing, man, and I'd be doing a lot of deep sea fishing for sure. So I think I would have to probably name it the Salty Test Tackle. And if you say it fast, man, Salty Testicle.
There you go. So if I had a boat, since I like to have fun and have humor, I would name it OU812. Some people will get that, some people won't, but I would name it that, or I would just probably name it ATL since I'm from Atlanta and that's where it all started from.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so cool. Let's keep it rolling. Let's ask another question here. I got it going here for this. We start with you, Drift. What was the best and worst purchase you made in 2019?
Yeah, best and worst. Best purchase, man. Probably just more tools. You know, most of my tools, yeah, make life easier.
Okay.
Worst purchase. Probably just my cars, the Box Chevy, the cars that I bought this last year and don't have anymore.
Yeah. So cars bring money. Yes, I get it. Buy a car, but hey, you got to put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you don't always get all that money back. So
yeah,
most times you don't.
So what's your best and worst purchase of 2019?
Worst purchase is definitely a 2010 Camaro SS that I never drive. It's literally covered in dust. That was a waste of money. But the best purchase by far, man, is getting my own business going, man. It's buying everything to get everything going off on my own, man.
Awesome.
Nice. Hey, Chris, isn't that the same kind of Camaro that Joe got?
No. Joe got a 01.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2010 01. A little different.
10's the newer. Oh yeah, 10's the newer, the retro body style.
Yeah.
I'm having a little brain fart here this morning. It's early.
So it's on that old school SS life.
Yeah.
On to you, Jeff. What's your best and worst purchase of 2019?
I am going to do my best purchase. I'm going to do a little shameless plug here out to Mackenzie and Jennifer Curbo covers. Those were. I was one of the first people to get those things, and those are awesome. They're great marketing tools, and plus it's convenient to. It's good having a solid way to advertise your company and be a practical use, and it is because it covers all the car while I'm working on it, and it's very presentable. The worst purchase, and I'm going to break some hearts here, is my damn Apple iPhone 11. Hate that damn phone. It's my first iPhone. This year I bought an iPhone and an iPad, and yeah, Steve Jobs is a player because he's done played everybody. So,
barely done even had that thing.
We team Apple. I'm team Apple, man. So I love my iPhone.
Apple all the way.
Android, Note 10 Plus, baby.
Yeah, I hadn't used anything other than Apple, so yeah, I'm team Apple. Don't know anything other than that.
They start getting on the Android. They start fumbling around.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with so I'm gonna start out here. So my best purchase came towards the end of the 2019. So I love candy. I drink Coke and I eat candy all the time, right? But I stumbled across this white chocolate Snickers, and shit, I've been addicted ever since. So white chocolate Snickers was a good purchase, but I love them. I've been buying them ever since then. Worst purchase, Amazon. Amazon gets me, man. Like, they got all kinds of promotional stuff on there, and I'm buying stuff like, oh, this looked like it worked. This looked like it worked. And I probably got like 10 purchases of I bought like some hooks to put in the shower to hold the towels, man. Shit worked all the 2 days.
Man, I don't know how many clips I bought from Amazon thinking they're gonna work, and then you get a whole bag of useless plastic. So I know I feel you on that one.
So Amazon get me all the time, and I don't gripe. I'd be like, oh, it was like $10 or less, but Yeah, Amazon gets me, man. So yeah, so that's my worst purchase. So now with it being Friday and coming up for the weekend, it's time to talk food. So, Drift, what's on the menu for the weekend, man?
For me, we got Cajun pork chops.
Okay.
Oh no, Cajun pork roast.
Okay.
Cajun pork roast, and we got ribeye steak.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing with the steak. We're just having some ribeye steak and some other stuff with it right now, but
that's what's up. So what about you, Juan? What you got cooking for the weekend, or where you going?
I typically meal prep, man. Try to get ready for the week. So I usually keep it simple: some chicken, some steak, just throwing some veggies and some rice, man.
All right, that's what's up. And Jeff, man, you always going on the pellet grill. Like every now and then, you'll throw us a little something out there where it's like, oh, here goes some carne
I'll
asada.
probably tomorrow. I'll probably throw some baby backs on the grill.
Okay.
That's my dad's staying with me, and I try to treat him to one of his favorite meals a week, and he loves ribs. So I'll probably throw some baby backs on, and then Sunday will just be the clean the refrigerator out, have a bunch of leftovers, and get that cleaned out because my wife and I are both from big families, and we have this problem of cooking for 25 people when there's 3 of us in the house. So we always have a bunch of leftovers. So if you're hungry, come to my house. I'll feed you.
If you ever want leftovers, see Jeff on that end. Yeah, that's what's up. For me, for the weekend, what we having? We actually make this thing called Harvest. It's you go Brussels sprouts, bacon, sweet potato, apples, and chicken. So it don't sound good, but it's actually good as hell. So my wife
sounds good as hell.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, my wife actually.
Like, what do you do? You put it in a casserole dish, or like how?
Yeah, it's all on the pan, and you put like olive oil on it, then rosemary, oregano, thyme. I actually take some pictures of it and actually record some of it, but some people don't like the way it sounds, but it actually tastes good. And it's
like a sheet pan.
Yeah, sheet pan. Yeah. I posted it, and somebody else tried it out at some point, but it's actually pretty good.
All right.
You know, it's kind of funny. Cynthia and I were just talking about how sometimes you like for a hamburger, you'll go to a hamburger joint and you have the way you want it, and you special order it the way you want it. But sometimes you just got to order it the way it is, even though it may not sound good, and just eat it. And that's kind of like how you're saying it may not sound right, but it tastes right. So.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. Hey, just take it for what it's worth. Like, try it. They made it that way for a reason. I'm sure they tested it to know it worked that way. So, hey, give it a shot and see what happens.
Oh yeah, send me that recipe, Corey.
Yeah, I post photos and the recipe. And if anybody else in the group, if you're cooking something for the weekend, I got a good recipe you want to share, post it. And we all for trying new things, man. We love everybody on here. One thing we all got in common is we love to eat. So that's one thing for sure people will take advantage of. So before we get out here, anybody else got anything they want to add?
I just want to say thank you guys, man. I really appreciate all of your advice, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem, brother.
Coming on, man.
Well, we thank you for coming on.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm giving you an open invite right now, Juan. You want to come out to Phoenix? You want to come in the summertime? You want to melt? I mean, you're a firefighter. Hopefully, you can handle the heat. But hey, and that's an open invite to anybody who ever wants to come out and work with me and check out some stuff. Hit me up. I'm more than happy.
Yeah. And the community, the group is all for helping people. So you'll see in the comments and with your interactions with people that it'll work out for you. And knowledge is power. So stay connected and keep in contact.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend, man.
All right, thanks, Corey. See you guys.
All
right, go.